Everyone is passionate about something, whether it's comics or Pokemon, movies, or your favorite sport. In this podcast, we talk about many things. Mostly, we delve into comics and comic-related subjects. Come with us and find out if you're in love with a nerd.
God, I'm in love with a nerd.
And welcome to You're in Love with a Nerd. I'm Travis. This is Jen.
Okay, there's a flaw to being videoed as we do this. I can't
Why is
stop
that?
laughing. Because I
What-
just watched you go. And it was adorable.
So what she's referring to is I was syncing up the audio with the video.
Oh, yeah, we were going to edit that part out. I'm a professional.
Yeah. And what are you a professional of? Tell us a little about yourself.
That's cheating.
That's a segue. You're going to learn that I'm terrible at them. But sometimes they just fall into your lap.
We've been together for 20 years. I already knew you were terrible at segues.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm married to him.
Okay. That's
And I read comic books and regular books and a lot of books.
And what do you do after you do those things? You have a presence.
I do.
In
I review books online. And so I review online comics and audiobooks mainly. But I do read and review a lot of comic books. I also help moderate a Discord server. I do the pretties.
See how interesting that is? I on the other hand sell comic books.
Yeah, you bring me my pretties.
I work in the retail side of comic books and kind of dabble in comics myself, even though I have been incredibly lazy lately. Lately, I mean like for the last, 17 years?
You have read like all of the X-Men.
No, I mean actually doing comics.
Oh, I thought you meant like not reading. I was like, you have read like all of the X-Men. You have done nothing but read.
That is overstating the thing that I did. I did recently start at the new Genesis, the Giant Size X-Men #1, and have been working my way through all of the assorted Epic collections and Marvel Masterworks to at least try and get to. I don't know how far I'm gonna go, but I'm going to at least get to where I started reading comics in the 90s.
Exciting.
Yeah.
I, on the other hand, made a stupid goal.
And what goal is that?
I chose to read Batman.
All of Batman?
Yeah, I even made a pretty graphic, and it has like all the numbers that are in the 40s and then the 50s, and I might be a bit obsessive.
Yeah. Might be a little bit of a nerd, you might say.
Just a little bit. Like
Yeah.
to the point that my doctor talked to me about Batman today. This is only the second time I've met my new doctor.
Yeah, well, some can't account for taste. So, would you say Batman is your favorite?
No, not even close. I like Batman. Don't get me wrong. I like Batman. But definitely a Constantine fan. I like Hellblazer a lot. I like the darker, more angry stuff.
And he's more dark and angry than Batman.
Yeah, he swears more too.
So this is a show where we talk about being a nerd and what that entails and the different nerddoms. Because actually, not to out myself, probably shouldn't say where I work, but my boss was recently interviewed on adult collectibles and what makes adults collect things, and you know, it was rather silly because
Well, it's weird. I
weird weird that people collect things, or weird that they don't understand why people collect things.
weird that they don't understand why people collect things, because like everybody collects something. Like I don't know anybody who doesn't collect something, whether it's comic books, regular books, movies, video games, or alcohol bottles on your bedside table or whatever. Like somebody, I don't know anybody who doesn't collect something.
Yeah, whether it's teapots or
You're just naming all the things we collect.
yeah, but you don't make it your life.
No.
But
That's
is
reserved for Batman and Purple.
Yeah, that on the other hand, it is a small aspect of of what makes you a nerd.
Yeah.
You just nerd out for stuff you like.
I nerd out for pretties and Batman. Because he's not pretty.
Yeah, and commemorative spoons of Saved by the Bell.
Well, duh. Doesn't everybody?
So what's with You're in Love with a Nerd? What's that all about? What is that to you?
We're gonna talk about the different like fandoms that we like, the things that we like, and I hope that we can get a couple episodes a week, or a couple episodes a month. A couple episodes a month where we invite our friends and other people that we know that maybe don't necessarily collect the same things, or that just want to talk about a different kind of nerddom. And I think that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So what's something that you have read recently?
Dude, I've been trying to get to 2,500 books for the year. I have done nothing but read for the last week. I've got like 50 people cheering me on that if they knew I had stopped reading to come do this, would be like, get back in there and read.
So that number is that what is that number?
All right, so every year I make a Goodreads goal, and that's the tracking app that I use to record all my books and what I read. And the 2,500 is the number I pick, but that includes my goal to read one picture book a day. So I read a lot of children's books. I read a lot of like those short little picture books, board books, that kind of thing. It also includes my pull list, because I need to stay current on that, or you're going to take it away from me. Because that's the deal. No. But I read my single issue comics, mostly DC, but I like Image and Boom and all the like more indie horror type stuff. It's also my audiobooks and the occasional regular book. But I don't read a lot of regular books. Usually it's audio and comic. And manga.
Very cool. So, has anything like left an impression on you recently? You read anything that was like, oh my gosh, that was so cool?
I got to get that tattooed on me.
Well, not necessarily, but you know.
We should have Katie come play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we could talk about tattoos.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Tattoos.
not to completely derail this, but
Yeah.
But I don't know. So it didn't come out. It might have come out this year.
I don't really even care if it came out
Okay.
recently. Just something that you have read recently.
Night of the Living Cat. That's the new manga I just read. That is the most wonderfulest manga ever. And that's saying a lot because I've also read Shibuya Goldfish. But Night of the Living Cat is a manga where it's a zombie apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
But the zombies are cats. And they don't eat you. They turn you into a cat. And
So you just become a regular like
yeah,
house
just a cat. Yeah, just become a cat. That's it.
My stupid brain is like, what happens to all that extra mass? Are you so when you become
You're a regular sized cat.
you go from a human being and condense yourself down into a cat? Are you like a super dense cat?
It's
or
magic. You're a werewolf cat. Let it go.
Okay.
It's magic. And they're
All right.
cute.
But you know what I'm talking about. Right?
It's magic.
Mm-hmm.
Magic. Oh, sorry. But I really liked that one. But probably the best thing I read this year is the Cy Spurrier and the Aaron Campbell Constantine. It's hands down my favorite Constantine. And that mermaid story freaking makes me cry every time I read it. And I've read it like a dozen times. I did read Heroes in Crisis again this year, and that's I'm a Tom King fan, and that's probably one of my favorite Tom King ones.
Yeah, we might have a Tom King signature around here somewhere.
Just a couple. A couple. I want him to sign my Heroes in Crisis. That would be really cool. It just like I know a lot of people didn't like it. And like I understand why some people didn't care for it. But I think that the part that people miss when not liking it is they forget that PTSD doesn't look the same for everybody. And most of the time when we see PTSD in movies, we see that very military PTSD where you're flashbacks and things like that, and you don't necessarily see the PTSD where you're just trying to pretend like you desperately don't have PTSD.
Yeah.
And to see my PTSD in Wonder Woman was pretty fucking empowering. And that was pretty cool.
Nice. I'm gonna be lame and say that I or admit that I still haven't finished that story. I am most
You'd have
of the
to
way
fight
through.
me for it. I
Yeah.
keep rereading it.
But yeah, I need to finish that at some point. That seems to be one of my taglines. Yeah, I need to finish that because I get part of the way into something and then I get part of the way into something else. I have a hard time finishing things.
Yeah, you do.
I have to this day never watched the final episode of Metalocalypse.
Is that that's the music one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The one that the singers or the Batman YouTube guy.
Oh,
with
yeah.
the rah, 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 rah.
Yeah, they use the song for the Bat Metal videos.
Yeah, I like that.
A little band called Death Clock.
Yeah, I keep forgetting their name. I watched a couple of those episodes with you.
Yeah.
They were good. So what's your favorite thing you read this year? Judge Dredd doesn't count.
But
only because that's all you've read.
That's most of what I've read. You can kind of see it up on the shelf over Jen's shoulder there.
I look
Well,
around like
this-
I'm not
yeah.
here. What? What's in here?
Yeah, I've got a Judge Dredd or two.
Just a couple.
That's hard to say, and I for some reason I wasn't even thinking about what my answer is going to be because I even knowing that it's going to come back to me because I'm the one that started the question. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of ones that I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to reading. Just recently, 2000 AD had a big sale on graphic novels, so I scooped up a whole bunch and was filling in some holes on Slain, and got some Judge Anderson, which is really cool.
I'm excited for you to read that Slain, the really, really pretty one with the dragon on the cover.
The Dragon Tamer?
Yeah.
Dragon Tamer or Dragon Slayer? Dragon Tamer.
I don't know, the last one.
Yeah, it was the
last
final
Slain.
one.
Yeah.
Um,
That one was really good.
right now I'm reading Bungleton Green and the Mystic Commandos. Bungleton Green is it's a comic strip that appeared in a 40s era Detroit newspaper. And what happened was the guy that took it over, it's Jay Jackson, decided to form a team of all black characters that went out and fought Nazis and fascism, and they have ghost friends.
Nice.
It's a very sci-fi comic strip.
So is it continuing? Like, is this story, like, is every week? Because, like, when I think newspaper comics, I think things like Garfield, where they're not necessarily a continuing story.
Yeah. No, it is. It is a continuous story that follows the main, Bungleton Green and his group of black kids that he gets together and calls the Mystic Commandos. And
I love that name.
Right? It's
like,
cool.
that is a great name.
And when I first read about it, I wasn't quite sure what they were going to do with it, but yeah, they went full sci-fi.
Nice.
They run into the ghost of the guy that rowed the boat for the crossing that Washington did.
Oh, the crossing of the Delaware?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the ghost of that guy becomes an unofficial.
Just some random dude on the boat, or like a specific dude on the boat.
He was the guy that rowed the boat for George Washington.
Okay.
In myth and legend, I'm sure Washington didn't row his own boat.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't there.
This guy was. So he gives one of them a ring that is that allows him to summon his ghost.
Wait a minute. They're fighting Nazis.
Yeah.
With George Washington's boatmen.
Yeah.
Boatman? Would that be the word? Okay. How did they meet George Washington's boatman, or is he already dead? And they meet the ghost of George Washington's boatman.
Well, see, George Washington lived a long, long time ago. No, it is the ghost.
I'm gonna throw the figure I broke at you.
So he shows up in a house that the Mystic Commandos were claiming was haunted.
Okay.
And it turns out it actually was haunted. There was this kid that was trying to frame one of the commandos for robbery, and so they trick them into going to this house, and this guy shows up and scares them off, and then the commandos come in and they meet him, and he's like, oh yeah, if you ever need me again, here's this ring. And so he shows back up later and takes those two kids that are trying to frame them for robbery into the spirit world where George Washington spanks them. Again, this was written in 1942 and 43.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this point, it is chocked full of all kinds of really hilarious propaganda.
Oh, I bet,
because it's all about Nazi.
Because it's like fighting Nazis during Nazis.
Yeah. Hitler is still alive at this point.
Yeah.
The war is going on, and so these guys are fighting Nazi saboteurs that come in and try and disrupt the American way and the American war effort.
Is it okay? So when was Pearl Harbor? Because 43, that's after Pearl Harbor, right?
Yeah, I believe we're in the war, right?
I'm looking. I don't know.
I thought you knew a lot about history.
Yes, that is about 400 years too new. You want to know about Genghis Khan? I got you covered. I just Googled it and it said 2001. Oh, that's the movie. I was like, I don't think that's right.
Pearl Harbor happened on 1941.
Okay, so
December 7th, 1941.
So this is still new enough that we're all still angry about Pearl Harbor.
Oh yeah, there's at this point there's still.
I guess there's people that are still mad.
Yeah, well, there's still people screaming about remembering the Alamo. So
yeah, valid. Okay. Interesting though to have all of that kind of connected because 42, yeah, the war's not over yet.
Yeah,
huh.
It's been an interesting read so far. I'm about almost halfway through it. And each page at the beginning, it was really cool because each page, the commandos were meeting up and they would always use a code word to get into the meeting place. And then the code word would be explained at the end of the page with little tidbits of Black history.
Oh, neat.
So each page, which was a day in the newspaper, they would have something positive that happened in Black history.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was super cool.
Okay, so question. Remember when we watched those Batman reels that were the old Batman movies that were in the theater? And they were just holy fucking racism, Batman. Is this one bad like that towards the Japanese and the Germans and the...
So, at least what I've run into, there is a lot of... It's pretty tame. There's colorful words that is not...
Yeah, that we wouldn't use today.
Typical now.
Right.
But, and even then, it was in a Detroit newspaper written by a Black artist and creator. So they're not going to throw too much in there, but it's present, but not overbearing. It's not even when they're talking about the German saboteurs, they don't get even to the point that the Looney Tunes would get.
Oh yeah, those were bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a lot of stereotypes, but the stereotypes that they're concentrating on are ones that were trying to help the war effort. But they do this nice little clever thing though. At the same time that they're showing that there's German saboteurs, they're also they teamed up with this little white kid that is German.
Oh, so that's really cool.
So they're showing that even though we are at war with the Germans, not all the Germans are
pretty
Nazis.
Impressive for 42.
In fact, this kid is one of us, and he is part of the Mystic Commandos, and he helps them infiltrate the saboteur groups because he knows German, and
that's really cool because that's a lot for 1942.
Yeah, it's very inclusive so far. It's a little bit sexist in a few scenes.
Well, we can't include everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, that would just be ridiculous.
But it's only sexist that I've seen really in the sense that the head saboteur guy who they call Monocle. Uh,
Glorious.
Usually appears with a girl on his knee.
Well.
But, it could be a lot worse.
Yeah, I was I wasn't expecting you to continue reading it when you brought it home.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I figured you'd get started and be like, wow, this is really racist, and quit. But that's really cool. But I didn't know anything about the creator. I didn't know that it was out of a Detroit newspaper. Like, I didn't know any of that. I just knew you were reading something written in the 40s.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I was like, you're going to hate that.
Not. Are you speaking from an experience?
Yes.
Going through the 40s Batmans?
Yes. Dude, 40s Batman was brutal. He got mad and he tripped a guy and watched him fall down the elevator shaft, and him and Robin just walked away. Well, I mean, they made some comment about that guy falling down an elevator shaft and then left him.
Yeah. It's funny thinking about those ones when everybody gets so upset about the movies.
Yeah.
And Batman not... He's not supposed to kill.
The first bad guy that Batman fights in Detective Comics 27. The first bad guy he fights, he hangs from the Batcopter.
Yeah.
And, you watch him fly away. They don't cut it out. The dude's hanging from the Batcopter as they fly away. Pushing people down elevator shafts. No, he was not a good guy.
What wasn't his catchphrase for a while just dead?
Might as well have been.
He's dead.
He's dead.
So how early did he team up with Robin? Was he
pretty early? So in Detective Comics, that's where I started reading, and I've read Detective Comics from the 30s, the 40s. Well, and by 30s I mean 38, I think, is when he started. 37, something like that, late 30s. And I haven't seen a lot of Robin. But he's almost instantly in Batman, and that doesn't start until the 40s, though. So the Joker does come before Robin, but not by much, I don't think. At least in the stuff that I've been reading. And it is possible that Joker in Detective Comics. I haven't been going along with them by release date. I was reading Detective Comics and now I'm starting Batman.
Yeah.
And so I haven't been reading, so it's possible that I just haven't read the right order to see them, but yeah. But yeah, he's pretty early. By the 40s you have Robin.
Cool.
Yeah.
I guess that's something that I probably should know when I working at a comic shop and having to explain comics to people, but I never really even thought about how long was Batman just Batman until he was Batman and Robin.
Yeah, not very long. And then even when he was I don't know that he was Batman and Robin fighting crime right away. I don't remember that part. But my favorite thing about really early Batman is the whole Gordon Batman dynamic. Because my first exposure to Batman was the Rebirth. Well, no, I guess it was the Dark Knight. That one was my very first Batman.
Yeah.
The Dark Knight Returns. But
that's not a really great representation.
Right.
It kind of happens in a weird pocket dimension.
Yeah, it's one of those Elseworld titles. And yeah, so my first consistent Batman was the Tom King Rebirth run.
Yeah.
And so, I'm used to the not necessarily inept police, but the police that very much rely on Batman.
Yeah.
And they call him in, and so modern Batman, you get either that or you get the Batman that they hate him and they're gonna prove they can do it without him, right? Like that's all you get. Either call Batman in to save the day or keep him as far away from possible. But like early Batman and Gordon, they're like hanging out at a murder scene, smoking cigars and drinking whiskey. Like, and you're like, dude, what the hell? Like, you just gonna light up right there? Like, yeah, pour the guy some whiskey. He is a civilian. Like, Gordon does not know he's Batman. So it's not Batman and Gordon hanging out at the dead guy's house. It's Gordon and his pal Bruce Wayne drinking booze over the dead guy.
Is it the dead guy's booze?
Unless Bruce bought it with him. I don't know what would be better, that Batman carries around murder booze or that they steal a dead guy's alcohol.
That kind of reminds me of the Omega Man, or no, Soylent Green, where where they show up at this crime scene and then they just start drinking the dude's alcohol.
Yeah, my only exposure to Soylent Green is that the tuna place in Buffy is made of people. Like that's as close as I get to Soylent Green. I've never seen it or read it.
Yeah, we were supposed to watch that one year for
last year. It was set in 2022
for our our tradition that we totally do every year of watching movies that take place in the year that we're going into.
We've only missed the one.
Yeah.
We watched ever since we started. We've done it. But yeah, no, I don't know. But yeah,
but we're totally gonna do that instead of talking to you guys. Not to give it away, but we're recording this on New Year's Eve 2022.
We're time traveling.
Are we?
I don't know.
Aren't we always traveling through time?
Smart ass.
All right. Moving on.
I love you. No, I just think it's funny. Like, I guess we got sidetracked on Batman, but going back to like having to do the interview about people collecting things, I find it weird that.
That's right. That's a thing that we talked about.
Yeah, we did. I just don't understand why people think that it's so much worse to collect comic books than whatever. Like, I don't understand. Maybe it's the childlike nature. I don't know.
Because you're a nerd and I'm not. Because my stuff is cool and yours is weird.
They probably cosplay more than I do.
Probably.
I've seen your brothers do their football traditions. I don't put that much effort into going to a comic store.
True. I do see quite a few, and here recently I've seen quite a lot of people getting dressed up for random reasons. I don't know.
It's because we all miss cons.
Yeah, I see quite a bit of people on Fridays. It must be pajama days or something. But,
I want a permanent pajama Friday.
Well, I get a lot of people coming in their pajamas.
I say like I don't wear my pajamas all the time. I'm not at work.
Yeah. I, however, always dress professionally and respectfully.
Somebody's got to.
Yeah. And I think I just messed up my tie. Even worse.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I was told also by my employer that they would buy me more shirts if I just dressed like this all the time.
Like a vacuum salesman from the 60s?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I walked around and just delivered bad like cop lines from bad movies, like I'm too old for this.
Shit. I'm retiring in 3 days.
Oh, I got 3 days to retirement.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Which is really fun because I work with a lot of people in their very early 20s, and I am obviously not. And the thinning hair and the graying and the gray beard really it just laid into the. I need to bring next time I randomly decide to dress up like this at work, I need to strap on my shirtless bear fighter badge.
Oh, there you go. I thought you were gonna go with your whole Reba jacket thing.
Oh, well, yeah, that too.
Your mullet and your Reba jacket and your shirtless badge, like you're a bad cop from the South.
That could work.
Oh, I think
See,
that would work. Ow.
we wanted to make every Friday Hawaiian Shirt Day, but
Yeah,
a certain group of I would say, I don't know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Assholes
Shitty
that made
white
them
guys.
assholes. They made them rename a
Yeah.
certain comic book character.
There's a certain group of shitty white guys that ruined Hawaiian shirts for all other white guys. So the only person that can wear it is Robert, who is from Hawaii, and he can still wear Hawaiian shirts. So what are you talking about? Renaming?
Stupid assholes making us rename Honey Badger.
Yeah. What?
that issue where she teams up with Deadpool to like save the zombie lab animals is my favorite thing ever.
Yeah.
It is definitely my favorite Marvel comic ever.
And what she's referring to is an issue of All New Wolverine.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Where the clone of the clone of Wolverine,
The clone. Oh.
Honey Badger. God, what is her actual name?
Scout.
No.
Gabby.
Gabby. Yeah. I couldn't think of the word Gabby.
Oh.
Teams up with Deadpool to rescue a bunch of animals that are being experimented on. But sadly, certain right wingers latched onto the name Honey Badger and started using her as
propaganda.
So they decided to say no, you can't do that.
Though that was not nearly as, I don't know what, I can't think of the word, but badass of a move as redesigning the Punisher logo.
Oh yeah, when he became the king of killers.
Yeah.
At first glance, I have to admit, it looked really weird, but
oh, I swear they did that on purpose.
Yeah, but then I learned that he's taking over the Hand, right?
Yeah, he's taking over the Hand. Mm-hmm.
Big, and I only read the first issue of that.
Of course you did.
Yeah, there's just too many comics, and I am also trying to work my way through an entire
45 years of
yeah, I
and of an entire publisher, not just a character. 45 years of a publisher.
Well, primarily the Judge Dredd part of 2000 AD. I started with the 77 and have been working my way through all of the Judge Dredd complete case files. I am on 20.
Holy cow!
I am halfway through because there's 39 out right now, and then 40 comes out very soon.
How exciting!
Yeah,
I didn't realize you were that close.
Oh yeah. I've been working at it for quite a while.
Yeah.
I used to actually keep one copy on my desk when I worked at a certain online retail store. And, any downtime in between taking phone calls, I would read some, which I was blended into so many departments that I never had any free time, so I didn't do very much reading at work.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, they do.
But yeah, anything else really awesome you've been reading lately?
I've been rereading the Patricia Briggs series.
Very
And
cool.
That's always a favorite.
Yeah, especially since she's local to where we're at.
Yeah, so it's nice to know that like we're like just down the street from the main character's house, and we went to the same high school that the one of the characters goes to,
Yeah,
and that's kind of cool.
I can't imagine at least at first we're gonna have many listeners that aren't like people that we know.
Yeah, I know.
That also know Patricia.
Yeah, I've been so I've been reading it. I stumbled across a group of people in the Discord I joined that were reading it just by coincidence. Like I didn't seek them out or be like, "Hey, you guys should read this." They were reading it and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I live there." And so I've been sending them pictures of all the places like and so I keep messaging. I'm like, "Tell me to stop whenever you're done with this." But this is where, Adam's daughter goes to school and this is where Mercy beat up this guy and this is where Mercy was kidnapped and
Yeah.
and so I keep sending him pictures.
She was just recently at the shop, but she came in on a Tuesday.
Oh, so you didn't get to see her?
Yeah, I didn't get to see her at all. Tuesday being the day that we process all of our single issues into pull boxes. So I was heavy into that, and then I heard her leaving because she was saying goodbye, and I was like, bye. Yelling
She's so
from,
sweet.
Yeah.
Such
She's
a
supposed to come back here pretty soon too. But if there is anybody that happens to be listening, it's like an alternate reality.
It's a paranormal urban fantasy
Mhm.
set in the Tri-Cities, Washington, bouncing kind of back and forth between us, Montana. They do go to Prague at one point, Spokane, but mostly it's local. And it's a werewolf story with vampires and fae, and it's that alternate reality where the fae have come out publicly. And at the beginning of the series, the fae are the only ones out. And so they know fae are real, but they're not sure about like vampires and ghosts and werewolves and that kind of thing. But
and she's some kind of changeling too,
she
right?
is a she's not a skinwalker because she doesn't require she's not a sorceress and she doesn't require the skin of the animal to do it, but she is she's a coyote shapeshifter, and we can't say anything more than that or it's a spoiler.
For a brief moment I thought you were going to call her a kaiju.
Yes, she's a kaiju. Yes. That would be awesome, but no.
Well, technically if she wasn't human, kaiju just means monster.
I thought kaiju had to be big.
I don't.
Otherwise,
believe
it'd be
so.
like a yokai or a.
Well, kaiju just is just a word for monster, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Now you're making me doubt it, but I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to assume that I'm right.
Okay. And I just need to assume I'm wrong?
I don't know.
Okay.
You can assume you're right too. We could both be right.
All right. As long as we're both right.
Yeah.
Or both wrong. Or at least I know whether or not I'm right or wrong. That's all that matters.
It is. So at this point, we've got a pretty decent amount of time under our belt.
Okay.
Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Kitty cats.
Kitty cats. What about kitty cats?
No, that's what we should do next time.
There is an alarming amount of manga centered around cats.
That is my new favorite genre.
There is one. It'll be out by the time this is out, but as of right now, which is the New Year's Eve, next week there's a manga coming out called I'm gonna mess up the name. My little sister is a cat or some. What is that? My sister the cat, I think.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna Google it really quick just to make sure. But yeah, My Sister the Cat by Senko. So it's about this guy, this kid that gets adopted into a family of cats,
Nice.
and then it's all about him interacting and learning to love his cat sister.
Yeah. Well, next episode is going to be on the best comic animals. So, kitty cats.
Very cool. Unless we decide to do something else or play these out of order or edit these out of order, but I doubt it.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh well. Just go in order. That's what order is. On that note, what say we start wrapping things up?
All right.
I was gonna prepare like a really bad dad joke, but I didn't get.
But you didn't think I'd come out of hiding long enough to stop reading and actually do this?
Let's see if I can find one real quick.
All right, you find your dad joke.
We are absolutely professional and know what we're doing at all all times.
Somebody has to.
So I'm not going to do that one because that's stupid. I'm not going to do that because that's about. I'm not going to do that sausage.
No.
joke.
You don't go back. You
What?
don't get to say I'm not going to do that one because it's about, and then leave us all hanging. It's about what?
It's okay. So now you got to hear the joke. So I walked into my sister's room and tripped on a bra. It was a booby trap.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that one out loud.
That's why I wasn't going to do that one. I'm not going to do this one about sausage because it's the worst.
See, that's how you do that. Granted, though, had you ended with, I'm not going to do the boob joke, I'd have been like, yes, you are.
All right. So how does Moses make his coffee? He brews it.
I don't get it. It's a goddamn Heathcliff meme, isn't it?
No. He brews it.
Isn't that how everybody makes coffee? Why are you laughing at me? God damn it. This is going to be everybody's favorite part. The look at Jen. She's an idiot.
So that's what we call a pun. Also having.
Oh,
a
is he
double
the
meaning.
guy that did the boat?
Yeah, you've made me forget the joke. What?
He's the guy who did
Moses.
the boat.
Moses
the boat.
Moses is the guy that split the sea.
With the boat.
He
Because it
didn't-
rained a lot and
No,
he had
he-
to save the animals.
No, he didn't split the sea with a boat. That was Noah.
Noah
and-
split the sea with a boat?
And see, that's a different joke. If you want a really big boat, I know a guy. But no. You're mixing up your you're mixing up
No.
your stories.
Bad.
Noah's the guy that gathered up all of the animals and put them on a big boat and floated around and got trashed and
Like in Dark Ark, but without the monsters.
uh-huh.
Okay. That's Noah, not Moses. I thought that was Moses.
Dark Ark, which is a really good comic that you should read about the other ark.
The better Ark.
The it's questionable. You know, it was full of monsters,
And that one guy.
and that one guy. Mm-hmm. But
Moses.
Moses was a member of a certain group called the Hebrews.
I already forgot that was the punchline. I was concerned with the fact that I didn't know who built the goddamn ark, okay? And leave me alone.
Oh, yes. This is our life.
What's that supposed to mean?
Some people are comic nerds. Some people really like telling bad dad jokes.
And some of us have no idea who Moses is. All right, then.
Yeah. For some reason, you always get those two guys confused. I mean, if I saw them, I probably wouldn't know who they were either.
No.
Join us next week when we hear Jenn say, and then I say, good night, folks.
I just wanted to say that I'm a nerd.
I'm a nerd too.
I'm in love with a nerd.